I really don't like this story about the Democratic national security video and the president. I think it's a shame in our democracy that this gets discussed. And those six Democrats, I think, may have laid a trap for the president because they're booked on cable now nonstop. So who knows what's really happening? But here's the question I want to ask, and we could spend the whole show on this, and I really don't want to. Sean, your party, the White House, the Hill, is lying en masse. The conservative media lying en masse. They're saying that the video says they're telling people in the military to disobey legal orders. They're not. They're saying the
Oh
opposite.
my
And yet,
God.
and
First
yet
of all, that's not okay. Look, I'm
the
sorry.
lie is everywhere.
That's
How does a lie like that,
that's
where up is down and night is day, how does a lie
oh my
like that
God.
get
Play the
spread
video.
and
Like, hold on.
enforced?
Let's
We
play
don't
it.
need
Let's let
we
everyone
don't need
six people reminding people that they
yeah.
have a right to disobey a lawful
No.
order. What
No,
are
No,
you
that's not
unlawful.
what it says.
18
Unlawful.
No,
They
it
keep
says
saying unlawful.
it says they have an obligation to not obey
and
an
I'll be right.
an
And so you
unlawful
start
order.
telling
Sean, that's what it says. We don't need to play it.
I
It says
I understand that,
it
yeah.
says obey. Oh,
Look, I'm going to
don't.
tell you
It
this right
says
now. You're basically in.
I'm asking you a simple question.
I'm
They're
just telling you
lying.
this. I've
Yeah.
served and I'm telling you that I think that your premise is 100% false. They are encouraging people to question orders that are lawfully given to them. It is a violation of
It
18
says
U.S. Code,
it
Section
says
238,
Sean Sean. It
to
says
intentionally distribute written or permission bill that encourages insubordination. That is what
it's
they're doing,
they're not.
100%. And for you not to even acknowledge that, I think to say that that's a lie is a total mystery. I mean, they did that for a reason, to encourage people to question orders. They can't, when they were asked, when Jason Crow went on Fox and said, name one thing that the president's done that you question, he couldn't. This was all about ginning up questions about whether military service members should actually execute the orders that are given to them. Full stop. They can't name a single instance,
That's
not
not.
one,
They don't.
that is questionable.
It's not incumbent upon. They can cite historical precedents like Abu Ghraib to say you should not obey illegal orders. That's exactly what they say. And I'm asking how the White House can orchestrate through conservative media and Republicans on Capitol
Uh,
Hill a black is white lie. How does that happen?
Because it's not, because that's actually what you're doing now, is saying that it's a lie is a lie. That is not what they did. I was so offended when I saw that video. This idea that these people are trying to stoke insubordination is wrong. I can't believe that you. I mean, I actually was so offended when I saw that video. These guys pretending that somehow, and when they've been asked over and over again, name an instance. It's trying to create disloyalty, insubordination, question the authority of the commander in chief and lawful orders that have been given to them. Wow.
Damn.
I can't believe that like you've come out swinging on something like this.
Well, I agree with Mark that they repeatedly say unlawful orders. What I agree with you, Sean, is I think they did it to get in Trump's head. I think it was a trap. It was a taunt. You look at who did it. They all served. And
No. They did not all serve. That's not true. Alyssa Slotkin served at the CIA. Alyssa Slotkin served at the CIA. Yeah, okay, but you don't talk about use Navy phrases and talk about lawful orders. Look, this little thin line about like, oh, I was at the CIA. Uniform Code of Military Justice does not guide and govern people in civilian capacities. That was, again, that's a whole nother issue about that little cute reference to don't give up the ship. It's an 1812 war cry by a Navy captain about in the middle of battle. Like, this was so stoked with dog whistles. It was unbelievable.
Wow. Oh boy. I did. Okay. Well, you're right. Thank God Trump never dog whistles. We'll get to his next foghorn here.
Now it's about Trump. See, this is like,
hold on a second. Hold on a second. Where I agree that the video is not necessarily the best thing is if they had an instance where they could say, this was an unlawful order and you did it anyway. People may think there are things Trump's done that they say is unlawful, but they don't cite something. In my belief, this was a total political stunt, good for the Democrats, because this is the era of taunting and stunts. So I agree with you on that. What I also find just remarkable, because I sat in this chair for weeks when after Charlie Kirk and said, hey, both sides need to take temperature down. If Kamala Harris called for Republican senators to potentially be, with the word execution, I would probably, have to have security outside our apartment if I said both sides. And what's amazing is you now have Democrats getting death threats. They have security, right? Journalists back in 15, when Trump said beat the shit out of them, who had to get security in their houses, right? So to everyone on the right who said both sides don't play this game, and I said, look at Trump, I give you his statement of yesterday. I know you're all outraged and think it's horrific, but do I think a crazy person would hear that and say, I'm going to do what the president said? I sure do. Welcome to the modern era of politics.
So, I mean, to be straight. So hold on. Okay, I just want to make sure I understand this. So they put out a video inciting insubordination.
They don't, Sean.
Okay. Okay. So when the president told people what the penalty was for sedition, that's calling for violence. I get it. See, I just want to make sure I understand the double standard so that I got it clear. Because if they put out a video telling people they don't need to do this,
which is the part of the video where they tell people to violate legal orders?
Thank you.
Which part of the video is that?
No, they're telling them to question them. You don't have to name unlawful. Of course, everyone in the military knows that. Of course, you don't have to. So why are they starting to bring this up and telling that we're under?
But if everyone knows that and it's true, then there is nothing you can say, guys, why are you bothering with this?
So if someone stood outside of a Target and said, you don't have to pay for things that you don't believe are full, like you're creating an environment in which people are. Why are you telling people not to question the orders? There's not an example. There's no reason to do that. You're doing that because you want them to think that you might have cause for concern, because maybe there are unlawful orders. They are doing it for a reason. Let's not kid ourselves.
To get in Trump's head.
So are you offended because they're insinuating the president might do unlawful orders? Is that what you're offended by?
No, I'm offended by the fact that they are trying to sow distrust and insubordination among military members who say to themselves, when I'm told to do something, I should question whether that's legal or not. It's literally, if that's not how you live your life in every day, going, hey, should I question this order? Hey, the ship's sailing down to Venezuela. Should I go to?
I think the members of our armed services can handle it.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.
And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and Two-Way Tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.